recorded. If you come in late, if you miss something, we can always go back. You can rewatch this, pause it, rewind, all the great things. So this will be linked over at michaels.com/classes probably in the next couple of days. Like I said, if you have questions, don't hesitate to ask. You are not the only one with that question. I can promise you, we will make sure that it gets answered. There are a lot of you. If for some reason your question isn't getting answered, I'm so sorry. We will do our best to get everyone's questions answered. And if you're able to answer other people's questions, please do so. All right, without further ado, I'm so excited. We took a little hiatus, but now we're back. So please welcome Joy from Cricut. And like I said, she's gonna bring a little joy to your life today.
In more ways than one, because not only am I Joy, but we're gonna be using the Cricut Joy machine today. The good thing about Cricut is that we have lots of different choices of machines that you can use. And behind me, I have the Maker, and also an Air 2. So whatever you're working on, this project can be used on any of these three machines. So that's kind of cool. But there are some unique things about Cricut Joy that I want to show you that maybe we haven't had a chance to talk about before that make her a little bit of fun. And also, she's so tiny and compact, it's easy to just do something quickly because you can keep her in a nice space like on your kitchen counter, on your desk, and she's always ready to go. So today we're talking about vinyl and cutting vinyl stickers and applying vinyl stickers. And I thought what might be fun is to kind of talk a little bit about the different types of vinyl that you can use. Cricut has a ton of different vinyl that you can use. And then go ahead and show you how to apply a vinyl sticker that I've already cut out. We'll apply that, and then we'll kind of take a step back and look at how can you layer vinyl to make layered stickers. So by the end of the class, we should have this really pretty project completed. And this is a little, it's made to be kind of a thank you gift to send to somebody to cheer them up. It's got a layered metallic leaf on there with a little heart. And then I'm imagining this will go to a teacher, Mrs. Mactina. My mom is a teacher. So this is perfect for her. And if you aren't taking classes, if your kids aren't in classroom classes, maybe you can leave it at the principal's office and your teacher can come pick it up. But it's just a nice little way to say thank you for all their hard work. Okay, so let's talk a tiny little bit about vinyl and all the different types of vinyl that are available. I have a whole bunch behind me. And just to kind of start out, the one thing about vinyl is your basic glossy vinyl can either be a permanent or a repositionable vinyl. And that's important because you want to know, am I going to put this onto something that I want to take off later, or am I putting it onto something where I want it to be there a long time? Like a car decal or a mug that you're going to put through the dishwasher, that you definitely want to use a permanent vinyl. But then there's also repositionable vinyls, removable vinyls. So for holidays, you might find a really pretty pack of colors that you want to do a cutout that can go on your wall. You put it up and then you take it down later and it's completely removable. You can also find vinyls that are super shimmery. And this is another fun shimmery one. They come in individual colors, or you can buy them in packs of what we call samplers. So you get several colors in one. Now, there are a few important places to look for information on what it is that you're buying. Let me show you a couple more and then tell you some of the important things that you're looking for. So this particular vinyl is a mosaic vinyl, and that's like super fun because it's going to come out with some funky cuts. And then this is like a holographic sparkle one, which is fun. This is a good party one. If you're doing any parades or making any boards, this is a great one. The place you're looking for the most important information is right across the top. You want to look and see, is this vinyl considered to be permanent or is it repositionable? And then after that, you're off on the races for choosing all different types of vinyl that you can do. Now for today's class, we're going to be using a metallic textured vinyl. That's what that is on the on that vase that we're using. So that's kind of cool. So like I said, we're going to look at how to apply a vinyl sticker, and then we'll play a little bit with how to make a vinyl sticker. So I've already got one cut. We're going to come over here to the Cricut Joy machine and the worktop that I have here. And I have already cut this gal in the bathtub, nice and relaxing. And I've already put transfer tape on the top. We're going to talk about transfer tape and the need for transfer tape with vinyl. And I'm just simply going to remove the sticker from the backing and have it stuck to this transfer tape. Now, vinyl, on the back side of your vinyl, it is sticky already for you. So you want to be able to apply it without all the parts and pieces falling away, and you want to be able to apply it so that like all these little tiny pieces can still be there. Now I'm going to put mine right here on my Cricut Joy to remind me to relax while I'm crafting. And I can just put that right down. Isn't that cute? You can decorate your machine. You should see all the cool things people have done with their machines. Now I'm taking a little, I keep calling it a squeegee, a scraper, a squeegee, whatever we want to call it, and put that, there's a little piece right there. Get rid of that. And we'll put that right on. That way it's stuck down. And then using my transfer tape, I'm going to pull at a really close, I'm not taking it and pulling it straight up. I'm kind of laying it down and pulling that vinyl off. And then that puts my little project right in the place where I want it to be. And if I have any little air bubbles or anything, I can push those right out. And then I have my cute decoration right there on my Cricut Joy. Now, I did that with repositionable vinyl. So if I decide later on I don't want to have that on there, I can take it off and put on a new one. That's what's so cool about the repositionable vinyl. Okay. So now let's play a little bit with our Cricut Joy. And there is an app that we have. Now I'm going to do a little stand up, sit down trick here. There's an app that we have for Cricut Joy. And let me see if I can go back out of this. You'll have to excuse all the stuff on my phone. This is my real phone. But it's Cricut Joy. Cricut Design is also another place that Design Space is another place you can design in. But I want to show you with Cricut Joy how we can quickly and easily make something. So I'm going to start with just a quick label. In this one, you could do a quick label. You could do an iron-on transfer. You could do vinyl stickers, paper crafting. It's all right here on your phone. So I'm just going to hit start. And of course, I just want to start making. So I'm going to hit start. And I'm just going to do a quick label. And I sort of like the way that one looks. So I'll click that one and hit next. And I'm going to do some labeling for some containers that I have. And this particular container has glue. So I'm just going to write glue in down here and hit done. Now I can change the style of the label. I could change the size of it. I could make some other changes to it. But for today, I'm just going to let it go the way that it is and hit next. And agree that this is the size that I want and everything's perfect. Hit next again. Then this is going to ask me what material am I using. And I'll hit select, and again, I'm going to use that removable, smart vinyl removable. But look how many different choices of materials you have. I'm going to use smart vinyl removable, and then I'm doing it without a mat because smart vinyl doesn't need a mat. And I'm just going to hit make it. Oh, and I needed to go in, and this happens to me all the time. It's a good example of what you need to remember to do. Don't worry about that. Nothing bad has happened. You just need to go to your settings. And go to my settings, and I need to go to my Bluetooth, and I need to connect my Joy machine to my project. I'm going to come back out of here.
So Joy,
It's Cricut Joy Go.
I totally forgot, and this is so exciting. Michaels is partnered with Cricut, and we are starting to bring in bulk rolls of vinyl and transfer tape. So we're continuing to expand that assortment. We have a couple colors right now, but this is something we haven't been able to do before. So now we have extra long rolls of vinyl, 15 feet, 30 feet. So that is very exciting.
That is very exciting. That is very cool. So now my machine and my phone are talking to each other, and look at this great little video that tells me exactly what I need to do. So my machine is ready, and if you can see, the machine over here is blinking. So I am going to take my vinyl, slide that right into the machine. And what the machine is going to do is it's going to take that material and just make sure I have enough of it to do what I want to do. It'll draw it in and send it back out. It's a small cut, so it didn't go that far. And then down here at the bottom, I'm going to click go. And it's preparing, so I'll sort of move this off to the side. And now we're cutting. And there are no buttons on the Cricut Joy machine. There was nothing that I had to do over here to make anything happen, which is really nice. And if I got a text or a phone call, I could take that text or phone call. Nothing bad would happen. Once it's done, it's going to tell me it's done. It's going to say, hey, you're all completed. It says cutting complete. I'm going to unload that. And now I'll click done right here. It'll give me other ideas. But over here, we're going to go ahead and use the paper trimmer. Get some things out of my way. I was all prepared. Use the paper trimmer and just trim this a little bit off. And I can save that for another project. And you can spend some time and move things around so that things are in a good, whatever place you want them to be in. But I'm just going to go ahead and peel away that vinyl. And I say you can move it because there are times where you're not going to want to have any, you're going to want to use all that vinyl. You're not going to want to waste anything. And this is a cool new tool. This is our new weeding tool. And I love it because it acts like a pen. I can release one type of tool and then I can just put in a new type of tool. So I can have all these different tools around for use for whatever I'm doing. Now I'm going to go ahead and weed this because I want the reverse. I want to take the actual letters off and use the sticker as the sticker. So we'll get these out of here. And there are all kinds of fancy tools you can get to put on your finger to pick up your weeding trash. But I just use my finger. Take it away. Okay. Here we have the E. And now I can take this, and over here in my desk, I know I have a little compartment that needs some glue name on it. Make sure I have that in the front there. Now, because this is all one piece, I'm not going to need that extra transfer tape on top. We're going to use that again later. This one, I can peel it right up off of the backing sheet.
Joy, if you did need transfer tape, what do you recommend, just the regular or the strong?
Just the regular will do the trick. The strong grip transfer tape is for things like I would say your shimmer vinyl, your glitter vinyl, those kinds of things. You definitely want that stronger transfer tape. But I generally tend to use just the regular one. So now I have that marked and I'm all ready to go. Super, super easy. So let's show you now how we're going to do, and we'll come back to my face for 1 second so I can show you this project. But let's take a look at this one. And you can see that this is, oh, I still have my glue on my finger, don't I? You can, we're gonna go ahead and cut all of these different layers. and add a little heart. And then I'm going to show you how we're going to use a registration mark to line up these images perfectly so that it doesn't give you trouble as you're working through your project. Now, again, I've got everything in Design Space, and I'm going to go back to using my phone. So let's come back over here. And on this particular project, I am using these colors of vinyl, and I'm definitely going to need my transfer tape. So within this project, I have a little gold, a little brown textured vinyl, and some bronze. And this stuff is beautiful. And once I've opened my packages, I just hold it together with a ruler. I'm sorry, that's a ruler. I was teasing myself last night because I have a million rulers, but that is a rubber band. So we're going to keep that together that way. And I got to remember to put my tops on things so that I don't hurt myself. And we're going to go in here to Design Space. And in Design Space, I have shared this project. It's called the Fall Leaf Planter. Is that in a good spot? And I have it ready to just go. But what I've done, let's do Customize. Now what's it ask me? Do you wish to keep working? Keep previous. Okay. One of the things that I've done, this particular image came in as an image with multiple layers. And I took apart each layer and gave each layer a little rectangle that it's attached to. And that way, I don't have to, let's see if I can find that image. We'll put in mandala. Because it's really hard to line these things up if you don't kind of do something in the beginning to help yourself out. So here's that leaf, and I'm going to go ahead and insert it, and we'll look at these layers. Now down here across the bottom, I have all the different layers, and I can see the layers of each one of these pieces. Actually, I think this one is still grouped here. This one is still grouped together. So let me show you what I did over here. We'll hide those layers again. For this one, I sized it to about the size that I wanted, and I knew I was going to have too much detail in all of those pieces. So I went ahead and I added a shape off of this. Add a shape. Oh, not a font. Not a text. Shape.
So Joy, while you're looking for that, I've seen a couple questions just kind of come through on other machines and everything. And I did just want to say to everyone, Joy has done a lot of classes in the past for us, kind of doing an introduction to the different machines. So I definitely encourage you to go back and look at those. We're going to be focusing on the Joy machine during this class. While you can definitely do this project on your other machines, if you're wanting kind of that intro class, we have lots of different videos available for you to go look at, and I think that'll be so helpful. And then I did see one, you do not have to pay to download this app. It's also available on your desktop. The only part that you would have to pay for, and Joy, tell me if I'm botching this, it's the Design Space Access piece of it.
Yes, it's the Design Space app piece, and you can do that. You can purchase images each individually, or you can purchase a subscription, a monthly subscription, and then use as much as you would like. So you have those two different choices.
Here's
I'm gonna go ahead.
Question real quick. Just asking the type of vinyl you're using and if you have to add an adhesive to attach it. And
I'm sorry, ask that one more time again for me.
Which vinyl are you using, and do you have to add an adhesive to attach it to the base surface?
I am using the metal textured vinyl, and no, vinyl has the adhesive already on the back. That's the trick I'm going to show you. So that's why the layers can get a little bit confusing, but we're going to ungroup this one. And I have to admit, I have not done as much work in here playing with these, but we want to ungroup this. Well, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it as quickly as I want to be able to so that you can see everything. But basically you would take this and ungroup each of these different layers. And then what I've already done is added a little registration bar across the top of the layer so that when I put these two together, it's going to fit perfectly every time for me. So I have those two ready to go to cut out, and let's go ahead and look at what that looks like when it's cut out. So there is a little bit of design work to do in here. You take that image, ungroup it, add a little registration box that you know is the same for each one, and then we'll go ahead and make it. And we're going to do this with a mat. So the type of material that we used earlier is called smart vinyl. And the smart vinyl did not need a mat. But this particular vinyl is not smart vinyl, it's your regular vinyl. And Cricut Joy has all the little mats that we need, and I've gone ahead and loaded all of my mats with the material to cut this project. So I am going to simply get that ready, come back over to my app, make that so you guys can see it, and hit the go. And I don't need to mirror or anything. It will ask me if I want to do that, but I don't need to do that. And I've already got my textured metallic as a favorite in my choices. And then it's ready to just load right in there. It's gonna measure the amount that I have. And then it's gonna give me a little button right down here that says go. And I can touch that, and now the machine will start cutting. Now this is the same as you would do for your Maker or your Air 2. You would just be running this off of your iPad or off of your desktop to make the cuts happen. We won't do all of the cuts together right now because I've already got them pre-cut for us for our little design here. And I've got them all ready to go. But you can see how quickly.
Joy?
Yes.
Is the app available for Android or only for iPhones at this time?
This is the Design Space app, and it is available for both Android and iOS. The Cricut Joy app is only available on iOS, and it will be available on Android probably late fall, maybe early next year. So we're working on that one.
And the other question we have is if you could explain what the registration bar / box is and how do you add it to it?
Right, and how did I do that?
Yes.
Right. So let's go back. Let's go back to Design Space, and we'll cancel out of here. And let's just go to Home. And we'll do a new project, keeping previous. And I'm going to do this with something that's a little easier. Oh, replace that one. Okay, so now everything's ready here. So in order to add an image, I'm going to come down here across the bottom and click on, let's just do Browse Images. And let's type in leaf. And can everybody read what's happening here on this phone? Is that easy to see? This one has a couple of pieces to it, or it might only have one. You would come in here and ungroup this if it was more than one piece. But to add the registration mark, this is where I'm having trouble. It won't let me add, I don't need to talk to anybody right now. It won't let me add the little shape. But what I do is I come in here and I add like a square. Oh, is that it happening? No, I'll add, Sorry, guys. I don't know why I can't get this shape to add. Let's do text. Let's do it with text. We'll use this one and we'll do an A. Okay, so we're gonna put this in a certain spot on here. And now let's say we wanna take this and we wanna duplicate it and make another one. So we can go to our actions and duplicate is right here. That gives us 2 of them. So now I can put one right on top of the other, and I'm going to also duplicate this A. Put one right on top of the other. Now what I want to do in my layers section, come over here to my layers, is I want to make sure that each layer has an A with it. So I want to take that one and this one, oh, I should have practiced this more on my phone. It's on my computer. It's much easier to do on your computer. But basically you would take this and attach it. Let's see if I can attach it. You would basically take that image and attach it with that A. And then you would have the 2 pieces that each one of these would cut out with the A in the exact right same spot. And when I'm going to show this to you when I show this, and it'll make complete sense on how it works. But you would just attach those together. So let's look down here. And in order to peel your design off, you're going to turn it over and pull your piece away, your vinyl away. I'm just going to move the joy back just a smidge. And then I'm going to pull away and expose the cut piece. And you'll see that I have the bar. This is how nicely this particular vinyl reads. It just comes right off. So now I have my little bar up here. And I've done the same. I went ahead and cut a little, a brown, like a darker color that I wanted on the inside. I think they call this chocolate brown. And I'm just gonna peel this one away. This one has an outline that's on it. And I wanna take away that outline as well, so that all I have left is that inside piece, because now the gold is going to work as the outline. Now we're going to take a piece of transfer tape, and I want to start with this brown one. And the registration mark is going to help line up so that this brown gets exactly right on top of the gold. So all I'm doing here is taking off this part. And that is my transfer tape. You can use what people call a taco formation. Let me get some things out of the way here. So you want to take your transfer tape and just roll it into kind of like a little bit of a taco. And that way you can set it down in the center of your project. It won't stick to everything all at once. And then it goes right out. And then we're going to take our squeegee again. And I'm going to do that from the back and the front. This particular vinyl has a little bit of texture to it, so it can be a little harder to work off of the backer paper. So let's work it from the backer paper. And again, we're going to, instead of going straight up and down, we're going to go sort of at a 45-degree angle here. And let this go right onto that tape. Now, everything back here is sticky. So that's where somebody had asked if we needed glue. And that's where that answer is. You do not need glue. So that just comes right off. Now this one, all I'm looking at doing is lining up the registration marks. So this brown rectangle with this gold one. And what that's going to do is allow me to ensure that the leaf below is going to be exactly right as well. And there we go. So now we have our two pieces together. And this always made me kind of stop and halt if I saw a vinyl piece that was several layers. I thought, how on earth am I going to get all that to match up? So just by adding that little extra piece at the top, it really helps. So now at this point, we don't need that extra piece at the top. You can just remove it, or you could cut it out, or you could do whatever you want to do. It served its purpose, and we no longer need that part. So now we have the ceramic piece that we want to put this onto. And I am going to make a recommendation that I always keep these little alcohol pads around my desk, because it's really helpful if you take off any kind of fingerprint or any marks that you might have made on that ceramic part, and that will help the adhesion of the vinyl. Give me that 2 seconds to just kind of wind down, and I will do it from this direction if we can. Everything will cooperate. Now I'm just taking that leaf back off that backer paper onto the transfer tape. Ta-da. Now we'll look for kind of getting it centered. I want to, can you guys still see that? I'll do this the best I can from this angle. So I just want to go ahead and lay that down. And because this particular piece has a little bit of a rounded concave sort of surface to it, I'm going to see how much of that transfer tape will come up and let this design kind of stay down so that I can lay it down without too much, allowing it to do all of its curving without any puckering. So we'll just peel this right on up. There we go. And then gently press that with my finger so that we get each side. And that looks really, really nice right there. So now let's add, because I think the heart part is really super special. This is one that's already been cut. And this is when these are super easy to use. I do kind of tend to go over here and get a different weeding tool tip. And I'll just get this straight stick one. Stick it down to it. And then I can see exactly where I want that to go. And kind of roll that into position. Isn't that cute? So now we have those extra layers on there. And I also have the piece ready to go for on the back. Do we have any questions so far?
We did have a question a little bit ago that wanted to ask how many times can you reposition a repositionable vinyl sticker without it getting messed up?
You get a lot of opportunities to do that. I would say, I mean, I don't want to say it's endless, but repositionable certainly is a lot more forgivable. And if it didn't go down the way that you wanted it, you can pretty much take it up and give it a try a second time. So that is one of the nice benefits of repositionable. And if you're a beginner, that might be a good way to start, is to do something that uses a repositionable vinyl. That way you can kind of get a feel for how everything goes.
Mm-hmm.
And what I'm doing here is I'm just taking away the back part of this name here. This is for Mrs. Jones. Take that away, and then there are still some little pieces on the inside that we need to get. Now, there are a couple different ways that I have success doing this. Sometimes I just turn it and it comes right off, and I can just get it right out of there with my fingernail. And these seems to be cooperating ones. Other times you really do need to get the weeder out and use the weeder. But these are cooperating very nicely. So we'll take those out. Weeding, some people say that they love the weeding part, that it's really super meditative for them. Okay, and now we have Mrs. Jones. And I'm going to get another piece of transfer tape and kind of make it up. I want to make this about the same size. So I'm going to cut over here. Just make it a little bit smaller. And because on the back side of this piece, you can kind of see how it flares out and goes down. We're going to need this to be able to do a little bit of curving for us. Sometimes getting the transfer tape started is my hardest part of the whole project.
Is transfer tape reusable, Joy?
It can be, yep. In fact, I could probably use that other piece that I had already used. I do kind of like to get the lines in the right spot, so sometimes I'll cut a piece of transfer tape so that the lines will be in the right spot for me, but you have room to play. Okay, and we'll get that squeegee again, remembering to do both the front and the back. Now, because we have that concave piece, yeah, we'll take this off first. And use your surface to hold all your pieces down. If you see anything coming up, don't panic, just push it back down. Little J always wants to stick up. And sometimes you can go from different angles. If it's not working from one angle, work from a different angle and push it down. Or you can even go in there with your finger or your weeding tool and hold something down if it's not cooperating exactly how you need it to do. Now with this one, I think I'm going to give a few little snips. This is a sewing tip, really. If we have any sewers in the room, you know, if you have to go around a curve, if you give a few clips, it's easier to go around the curves. And if you've been making the face masks, you know you need those curves to work for you. Another little trick that I do, I want to know where the center is on something. I'll take a piece of string and use my self-healing mat as a very helpful little tool. So I can, let's work from this side. I'll put the center down. The bottom of that leaf is a center. And now I know that my center is right about here on the back of my, my next piece. And I can kind of line that up and say, all right, I think, let's fold this in half and see where our center is. Yeah, it's going to be right on the left side of that J. So if I have this up here and I can kind of eyeball it, I don't want to leave this string in place. I'm just going to tap down that piece of vinyl, and then I can work this. Now the nice thing is you might see that I'm putting, whoops, pulled that one off a little aggressively, but you can see that I'm putting a few bubbles in my transfer tape, and that's totally fine. I'm hoping you can see that okay. And I separated the M by accident. We'll put him back on. Here we go. Now we have to remember where all those little cuts were, but this should come right back up. And now for our M, I have my handy tool right here. Grab the M. And put that back on. So you can see vinyl gives you a little bit of leeway. You don't have to really worry about messing up, because even if you make a mistake, you can take it back off and start again. You have to. All right, can you guys see that? So we got Mrs. Jones on there. And then what I did to finish this one off is I just, I used a little bit of this Floracraft, which I think is awesome. And it came just the right size for this project. And this is available at Michael's. So with the Floracraft, it fit right into the top of this jar perfectly. And I can just give it a press down. And that goes right in. There's always a little bit of dust. And then I have, I got the little fun, what they call these, picks at Michael's. And I put 3 in the last one, but I'm thinking 2 might work just as nicely on this one. So I'm just gonna push them around a little bit, make it how I like it. And then go ahead and push those. I'm just pushing it right into the top of that piece. And then you have room to kind of wiggle things around to where you like it. And there you go. You have, yes.
People want to know where you got that particular ceramic vase.
That is at Michael's.
And also if the stickers are safe to wash or if they should avoid washing them.
Yes, that's a good question. The, I think I do need that third one in here. The vinyl is washable. This is a permanent vinyl. So once you've decided, if you were going to put a real plant in here, and let's say you, you know, you pull it out for next year and you want to wash it off, you can throw this in the washing machine, take it back out. You could put this same thing on a mug. You could use this anywhere and it's going to be permanent. I have a foil cut out of the state of Utah with a heart in it, and that's on my car. And that has stayed forever. It's been there forever. So yeah, you can use those in a lot of different places. And, you know, if it was Miss Jones and then she got married and you needed to take it off, you could always take it off if that was in repositionable. So there you go. That's all you need to do to make a cute little project and to work with your final stickers. I am sorry about the not being able to show you more clearly that registration mark, but do people understand what I'm talking about when I say putting that on there? Did that make sense?
Yeah, I think that you cleared it up. That was used to line up the layers of the stickers when they were printed.
Right. Right. Okay. Are there any, we have a little bit of time left. I didn't expect us to end a little bit early, but are there any questions I can answer about vinyl? I know there might be some things that you're curious about or haven't tried yet.
There are some people who want to know what font you used for this project.
That font is called Babette. And it's like all the fonts are in alphabetical order, and it always seems to be like the first brushed one that I like. It comes right up.
Oh, and this was permanent vinyl, just to confirm, correct?
Yes, our specialty vinyls are permanent vinyls. The only ones that are repositionable are the ones that are marked repositionable. So for something, there are a few little things that you can, what do I do with all the vinyl? There are a few little things that you can see that will help you know something is a permanent vinyl. So our premium permanent vinyl has this type of a top on it. When you look at the packaging, it looks like this. removable vinyl has more of a top like this. So that can help you, but you also want to look, removable vinyl is a blue color and permanent, well, one is a lighter blue and one is a darker blue. You can see that. And then specialty vinyls, if you find something that is special looking, like a holographic like this, it's probably going to be permanent unless it's marked that it's not. And the good news is on the inside, once you get going, you can see it'll say permanent on that inside part. So if you get it home and you have any question, like I'm not really sure, a glitter vinyl, let's see. The glitter vinyl doesn't mark as well that it's permanent, but on the inside it will say permanent. Anything that's specialty, I kind of just go, okay, that's gonna be a permanent. Anything else will be removable. Does that help?
Yes, and as a reminder to everyone, this recording will be available tomorrow at michaels.com/classes. I think we have a few more questions. Since we have a few more minutes, we can get some of these answered. Let's see. Is there certain materials that vinyl should not go on, as like it might ruin that material?
I think you need to use your judgment. If you're putting something on your car, and maybe it's your mom's car and she didn't want that on there and you did it in permanent, that might be considered ruining something. So I think you have to really think about what type of material you're using and where you're putting it. And if you're not 100% sure that you want that to stay, then do removable, because then you're not going to be likely to ruin anything. The one place that I would say definitely always use removable is on your walls. So if you're going to put up something for the holidays, or you put something on your front door to welcome people, I would do removable. That way you get, you just have the opportunity to take it back off.
And could you cut vinyl shapes using the Cricut cartridges?
Yes, if you have the Cricut cartridges, and they're still working with your machine, yes, you can use those together, absolutely.
Yeah, and I think people just want to know, in general, what if pretty much any Cricut machine could do this project, maybe without the registration marks?
Yes, the registration mark is really just something you're doing in Design Space. It's giving yourself, and it's putting it on all the different layers, so that when you go to layer, you're just looking at that bar, and that's the easiest thing to line up. And then once you're cutting, you're just choosing your machine. Do you want to cut on your Cricut Maker, or do you want to cut on your Air 2, or do you want to cut on your Cricut Joy? You really have the choice of any of the machines. They, I would say that the major difference is that the Cricut Maker will cut more types of materials, whereas Cricut Joy, it's going to cut most of your vinyls, papers, thin things. It's not like the Maker that can cut balsa wood and felt and fabric and things like that. And the Cricut Joy does not score. So that's just one of the other little differences.
And another question was if you use transfer tape on each layer when you're layering up your stickers.
No, I use transfer tape on the one layer, the very top layer. So the brown got the transfer tape on it. Then I peeled away the gold. I have another one right here. So I peeled away the gold, and then I put the brown on top of the gold. So really what was happening was that the brown part was sticking, the back of the brown was sticking to the gold. And then that transferred, so imagine the transfer tape, the brown, and then that goes down onto the gold, if that helps.
And some people Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say this little registration mark, you just go into the shapes and pull out, I pulled out a square, undid the bounding boxes and just made it into a little rectangle. You can make it a circle, you can make it a hexagon, you can make it anything. You just want it something that's up off of the way of your design. And then you just want to make sure that that shape is attached to each one of your layers. And that these two would be the same color, so they would print together. And then that way, all of my gold leaves have a gold rectangle in the same place as the brown leaf has the brown rectangle. And then they register right on top of each other.
I think that covers quite a lot of, oh, we have one question about how thick does it feel once you have the layers on there?
You know, when I was designing this, I was a little concerned that this would be like a super chunky thick piece, but this particular is kind of more on the side of it's more like a foily, so it's not really thick. So when I put the two on top of each other, it didn't feel like, oh, this is going to drip right off my project. It went right on really, really nicely.
And I think that that covers a lot of the big questions that we had. We had a lot come in the last couple minutes. There's more classes that Joy has done, all about the different Cricuts and everything else. So if you want to check out those, you can also find them at the same link, since we can't get to all of these questions today.
But I would say I saw that balloon question. Any of the plain vinyls, just nothing with a texture on it, because that's going to be thicker. Just your regular premium vinyl. And you don't want to put too much vinyl on a balloon because it makes the balloon kind of fall.
And I think one last question I saw that is a pretty good one is, which Cricuts can you use the app with?
Oh, you can use the app with the Cricut Design app. You can use with all of your machines. That's the beauty of these machines. I can use my desktop, I can use my iPad, I can use my phone to run all of the machines. Sometimes I don't enjoy designing as much on my phone because my eyes aren't as good as I'd like to think that they are. So I will sometimes design on my computer, and then if I just get the Cricut Joy, she can be running while I'm watching a television show. So it's kind of nice to just have it where I'll design on my desktop and then I'll actually make it work on from the phone. And I can do that with any of these machines. I can really connect from anywhere.
And then I think we had a question on if there are packs or bundles of the vinyl, so you can get like a variety of them. I think you talked about the sample ones.
Yes, there are. We make all kinds of different samples. So this is an example of a sampler pack. What I will say is, as you're shopping, you'll see some of the vinyl is a little bit more expensive. That's probably the sampler packs. Look at them, because you only get like a little teeny tiny view of all that. And if you were just looking at the regular, you might not realize, oh, it's because it's a sampler pack. There's also a little guide on the side that tells you all the different colors that are in it. So if you see something that looks like, wow, why is that one so much more expensive? It's because it has more options in it. So definitely be on the lookout for those. I think during the holidays, our most popular sampler is the Elegant sampler, and it has black, white, and gold and silver in it. And we have those in Cricut Joy packaging. We have those in regular Cricut, all different kinds of colors. So definitely look for those.
All right. Okay, I think that covers all of the major questions that we had. Someone asked, does that apply to the original Cricut cutter? But those might use only cartridges.
Which part?
with how using the app and everything like that, so that would not work with the originals.
Right. I think at some point there was, before I came to Cricut, I think there was an opportunity that you could get your cartridges turned over into, for use in the app. If you call our customer care department or member care, they can give you some answers and guide you if you want to do a few more things with those cartridges.
All right, I think on that note, I think we're all done.
All right. I hope everybody is super comfortable using vinyl, and that you got kind of a good overview of all the different types of vinyl and things that you can do. And really, when you start playing with it and you start cutting things out, you're like, oh, I could put a little something here. I could put a little something over there. And that's even on your Cricut machines. You should see how beautiful people make their machines. So feel free to use vinyl everywhere. And thank you all so much for coming and spending a little time with us today. We really appreciate your time. And we hope that you're all safe and well.